Rocket League Split Major happened over the weekend, and this is a season follow-up from the annual circuit with the region expansions and international majors that occurred in 2021 to 2022 as well. And I'm now joined with someone who was actually at the event. I'm now joined with Cole. How are you, Cole? You good?
I'm not too bad, Louise. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, I probably look very tired and my voice is completely gone, but it was worth it to head over there to Rotterdam.
Oh, absolutely. Was the atmosphere absolutely buzzing there as well?
It was insane. The Carmine Corp, who are like a massive French org,
Yeah.
they have these fans that go to every esports event, and we've never had them at a LAN before.
Oh,
They came in
amazing.
force. They had a massive drum, and suddenly there was about 2,000 French people descending into the stadium. I was annoyed at them actually because France had just knocked England out, but
Yeah.
I didn't tell them that.
Bit awkward, isn't it? You gotta bring your outside insecurities in, haven't you? Sometimes it's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. So tell us a little bit about what went down at the event. How was it?
The event itself was very successful. It is, as you mentioned earlier, a worldwide event now. There are teams from Oceania, there are teams from South America, teams from Middle East. And we had one of the surprises there was that Team Secret, who were second in South America, no one backed them at all. Everyone thought the club would be South America's best team. They made it to the semi-finals.
Oh.
So it was a good showing for a sort of so-called minor region, although we now prefer to say emerging region because they normally do pretty well. But the winners were one that I spoke about on the show a few weeks ago with Matt, was GenG, which is two of the lads, apparently Jack and Nolly, who actually moved from England to Canada before this season, now playing in the North American side of things, and they came back to the first major and won it. So a massive success story for them.
Love that. Just come back and you're like, yeah, I take the win. See you later. Do you know what I mean? That's the way to go. I love that.
They're dominating the world at this point, and they're heading over to North America and winning, and now they're coming back and winning it here as well.
Just taking over the world. Slowly just taking over the world. Go on, guys. That's the way. But can you tell us a little bit how the event works and how the kind of splits work and how the teams kind of go through the event for people that don't really know how it goes down?
Of course, so there are 16 teams overall, 5 from Europe and North America that are still the biggest regions, but a couple from Oceania, South America, and then APAC and Oceania get one team entering each.
Yeah.
And they basically join this massive pot, which is called the Swiss format, where basically when you're chucked in a Swiss, you have to win 3 series before you lose 3 series. If you win 3, you make it through to the playoffs. If you lose, you're out. And you always face someone who has the same results as you. So if you lose your first match, you play another loser, if that makes sense. I really like that format because it basically means that everybody has a chance to play everyone, and it relies on current form as opposed to historical rankings.
Do you like to get yourself in League of Legends as well? Are you quite an avid player yourself for the game?
Of Rocket League?
Rocket League, yeah.
League of Legends, not so much.
Oh, no,
The other league, not
Rocket League is what I meant to say.
I've put a few thousand hours into Rocket League, but the thing is that even after, I think, 7,500, a lot of that's commentating as opposed to playing. But if you put me on the pitch with some of these guys, I wouldn't touch the ball. It is utterly ridiculous what they're capable of. If you or anyone has played any Rocket League, check out some of the RLCS and your mind will be blown at what they're capable of.
Absolutely. I'm not a good Rocket League player myself. I missed the old lobs quite a few times, but look, we move on. It's fine. It's one of them. But were there any MVPs of the match, like the tournament, that you kind of quite surprised that maybe they came through?
Yeah, I think GenG winning wasn't too much of a surprise, but obviously their quality of performance was. Apparently Jack especially MVP. He's one of the players that moves over to Canada.
Yeah.
But another real surprise from EU was Moist Esports, because they actually lost what many people thought was their best player in Vatira to Carmine Corp, and they'd lost to Carmine Corp a few times coming into this. But actually on the day, the player that replaced Vatira on Moist, Astral, he put in an amazing performance, and they reached the final, beating Carmine Corp on the way. And what was great as well was when they played Carmine Corp, the crowd turned against the French lot that had come up. So it was a proper sort of intercontinental battle. There were chants at each other. It was a bit fiery. Doing that one and making it to the final was, relatively speaking, a pretty big upset.
That's it. I mean, did any team sort of let you down in the match? Were there any that you were like, oh, was a bit surprised at that?
Oh, good question. Any disappointments? Let me have a quick little look and have a think. G2 Esports were a disappointment.
Yeah.
This is the team that won the Winter Major last year, and it's the same exact roster. So a team that's used to coming to these lands and winning them At first, it was looking really poor for them. They lost their first couple of matches in the Swiss, including to an Oceanic team.
Yeah.
They managed to step up to make it to Series 5, but then they came up against Moist, and Astral was on another plane. So their start was too slow for them to recover from. So not making it to the playoffs was a bit upsetting from them.
Oh, that's such a shame. I mean, but it sounds like the atmosphere was absolutely banging as well. And although we got knocked out of the World Cup, at least you had a bit of a good time. So so what happens next with the whole league and everything, and with the Rocket League and everything?
All these teams now go back to their respective regions and they basically go again. So we will restart the RLCS at the start of winter. And then it's a fresh slate as far as qualifying for the next major goes, where 5 teams, the best performers in Europe and North America, will make the winter major. And it's really important to make these majors because the whole season you're building up circuit points that do accumulate, and majors are worth double points. So if you miss out on one, your chances of making it to Worlds at the end of the season are very limited.
Oh, there we go. Well, that's going to go into that. Well, Cole, thank you so much for joining us. And it sounds like you had a great time at the event as well. And look, maybe next time we will talk to you about League of Legends. Who knows?
Why not? Yeah, I'll
we
do my
can maybe
best.
have that one in as well as Rocket League. But thank you so much, Cole. Enjoy the rest of your day and go and get some kip. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Louise. See you later.
See you later.